Hey, I'm Todd Newton. Always great to see you. Always great to explore this big, beautiful world of ours with you. Welcome to the capital city of Scotland. Oh, there is a rich history here, and we're going to explore it all, complete with a visit to a centuries-old castle perched high atop a volcano. We're going to stroll those old cobblestone streets, maybe sample a little Scottish whiskey. I'm not a big whiskey guy, but we'll do it together. Also enjoy that local cuisine as we always do. So what do you say we go ahead and get it started, huh? Welcome to the Tattooed Traveler, my friend, and welcome to Edinburgh. This is just a short flight from London, less than an hour, and it's the second most visited city in the United Kingdom, attracting almost 5 million visitors every year. It's an easy city to get around in, but not an easy city to pronounce.
The city of Edinburgh. The pronunciation of the city of Edinburgh, the actual name is actually Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
Not Edinburgh or anything like that, it's just Edinburgh.
And not Edinburgh.
No borough, no borough. Borough is very, American kind of thing, pronunciation. No, it's borough, because in Scotland we roll our R's. So before Edinburgh was Edinburgh, it was just a borough. So you just add Edin to borough, and it's Edinburgh. That's how you pronounce the city of Edinburgh.
I think I've got it. Thank you. Edinburgh. I can't really roll my R's. Edinburgh. Edinbruh, we'll call it, to spell it phonetically. So before we make our way to Edinburgh Castle, we need to be properly caffeinated. I want to do that here at a very popular cafe, popular among locals and tourists. This is the Milkman. It opened in November of 2015, and straight away you'll notice that the Milkman is very warm, very cozy. It's located inside an old candy store and confectionery. Their specially selected and exclusive coffees come from a local roastery, and the name The Milkman refers to the owner's great-grandfather. His occupation was that of a milkman. In fact, he was the last milkman to make a delivery in this area. That was in 1938. Get a load of that. Edinburgh Castle at night, and here it is today. Couple of things about this castle. It is one of Great Britain's most besieged castles. It's been under siege 26 times. And while it has undergone some renovations over the years, there has been a royal castle in this location on top of what is known as Castle Rock for over 1,100 years. Castle Rock, it's worth noting, is actually an extinct volcano. It's been extinct for hundreds of millions of years, so there's no need to fear an eruption while you're visiting the castle. Admission to the castle will cost you about $10 US, and it is worth every penny. I recommend booking your tickets online in advance. There's plenty to see here, including the Honours of Scotland, which are generally referred to as the Scottish Crown Jewels. It is the British Isles' oldest surviving set of crown jewels. Now, they don't allow video of the jewels, so you'll just have to take my word for it that it will really take your breath away. It's comprised of a scepter, sword, and a crown that were first used as a set for the coronation of Mary, Queen of Scots, back in 1543. Now, what's interesting is, for their safety, the honors were hidden somewhere within the castle here in 1707, and they were lost, essentially, until they were rediscovered in 1818. You can actually see them. You can walk right up to them. I just wish they would have allowed at least photos, but I heard someone getting yelled at for trying to pull his phone out, so I didn't even attempt it. The last thing I want is to be reprimanded in an aggressive Scottish brogue. This is the building that was converted into a hospital to treat soldiers that were wounded during battle. The castle has been home to kings and queens for many centuries. Queen Margaret, who was later made a saint, died here at the castle in the year 1093, and this chapel was built in her honor by her son, King David I. And this is Edinburgh's oldest building, St. Margaret's Chapel. I'll take you now into the Great Hall, which was completed in 1511 by King James IV. It's been restored to what it would have looked like when it was first built. A lot of suits of armor and weaponry here. Swords, axes, nothing I'd want to mess with. I'm going to turn the camera around here. I want to show you I guess we could call it a spy hole. A small window just above the fireplace, right there in the corner. Do you see that? Just a little, maybe a 1 foot by 1.5 foot window. That is where King James VI would eavesdrop on conversations that were taking place below here in the Great Hall. Not the most confident of kings. The castle here is one of many, many buildings in Edinburgh that folks say is haunted. The legend goes that a young boy was asked to play the bagpipes as he made his way through the tunnels underneath the castle, and eventually the sound of the bagpipes just stopped and the boy disappeared. And today, some claim that they hear bagpipes when they walk along the Royal Mile near the castle here. So if you're into ghosts, this just might be your place. Here's the military prison. This was built in 1842 for the incarceration of soldiers from the local garrison who would be held in solitary confinement in cells like this. Originally, there were 12 of these cells, then eventually stretched out to 16. And in addition, there were 2 ablution facilities offering a couple of sinks for bathing and 2 flushable toilets. And what these cells did essentially was eliminate the need for running water, sinks, toilets inside the solitary confinement cells. Now, the prisons of war are a different story altogether. These are vaults located below Crown Square here at the castle, and back in the 1700s and 1800s, countless prisoners of war and pirates were held in these dark, cramped spaces. Can you imagine sleeping in one of those, I guess you could call them hammocks? According to what I read here, the first prisoners were French privateers that were caught in 1758, right after the 7 Years' War began. And the youngest prisoner that was ever held here was a 5-year-old drummer boy. Most were sailors coming from France, Spain, the Netherlands, Ireland, Italy, Denmark, Poland, even America. The castle does a great job of honoring not only the soldiers that served Scotland, but also the dogs. This is the dog cemetery, military dog cemetery. And I mentioned before the incredible views of Edinburgh that were necessary to protect the city and Scotland. There's really not much you can't see from up here. Definitely some great photo ops. Allow yourself about 2 hours to see everything that the castle has to offer. And again, book those tickets in advance. There was a line forming as I was leaving. And for just a few dollars more, you can include the audio tour. Really informative. That's where I got a lot of the info that I'm sharing with you here. All right, just down the hill from Castle Rock is an area called the Grass Market. A little light rain, a little drizzle setting the tone here. The reason I wanted to bring you to the Grass Market area is because there's a bookstore that has been here for decades. And as you know from watching past episodes, I love a good local bookstore with some history. City Lights Bookstore in San Francisco, Shakespeare and Company in Paris, and here in Edinburgh, it is Armchair Books. Now, this ain't no Barnes & Noble. This is a used bookstore, and as they describe themselves on their website, it is alphabetized chaos on these crowded shelves. And you know that old book smell? I love it. Well, that's exactly what you get in here. They're open every day, more or less, they say. And the booksellers really know their stuff here, making this small, cramped space a favorite for locals, students, well, and wayfarers like me. I walked out of Armchair Books with a classic, perfect airplane read, by the way, John Steinbeck of Mice and Men. Here in the Grass Market, as I was walking and searching for Armchair Books, I came across some place you and I have visited before. Not this one in particular, but come on, we never miss an opportunity to hit a cat cafe. I welcome you, fellow traveler, to Maison de Mogi, Scotland's very first cat cafe. And unlike the cat cafes that we visit regularly in the United States and throughout Canada, the cats here are not up for adoption. They have all been raised by their mom, Laura, from kittens, and this is their permanent home. Not a bad life, right? Now, I'm no doctor. I don't even play one on TV, but I do believe in the therapeutic qualities that cats offer us. And I know we were just at the Milkman earlier, but come on, what goes better with kitties than coffee, right? Admission to the cafe was £12, and that allows you to hang out, bring your laptop, read, play with the kitties for up to 1 full hour. And I can't think of a better way to spend 60 minutes. And let's be honest, a cute cat always draws quite a crowd. And while we're talking about loving pets, let me tell you the story of John Gray, who back in 1850 took the job as a night watchman with the Edinburgh police force. To keep him company on those long winter nights, he took on a partner, a little Skye Terrier. He called him his watchdog and named him Bobby. And they were together for years until John Gray passed away from tuberculosis in 1858. And this little statue of Bobby the dog outside of a pub honors the faithful little dog that visited his master's grave every day for 14 years. He never missed a day, and the kind folks of Edinburgh took good care of Bobby until he passed away himself in 1872 at the age of 16. While we're taking in statues here in Edinburgh, how about Sherlock Holmes? The statue is located right next to the Edinburgh Playhouse, and the statue marks the approximate location of the character's true origin and the birthplace of its author, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The actual building, located here in the Newtown section of the city, was demolished back in the 1960s. And I know what you're probably thinking, Todd, that statue looks nothing like Robert Downey Jr. The show business history runs deep in this city. This is Victoria Street. Now, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you know that this colorful, curved street is said to have been the inspiration for Diagon Alley, where Harry and his friends buy everything they need for a school year at Hogwarts. And J.K. Rowling wrote most of the Harry Potter books while living here in Edinburgh. So no one but J.K. herself can say what inspired her and the characters in the books, in the film, but the Museum of Context here is an officially licensed Harry Potter merchandise headquarters. So it's a magnet for Harry fans worldwide. They line up early in the morning to explore the store. And if you're in the market for your own wand, they have quite the selection here at the Museum of Context. And of course, you can try them out. You never want to purchase a wand without trying them out. When it comes to photo ops, yep. Miss Rowling has confirmed that Harry's birthplace was in a flat in southwest London. But the idea for Harry Potter was born here at the Elephant House, right on Victoria Street. Now, a fire destroyed the original Elephant House in 2021. And although the walls, ceilings, and floors may not be original, this desk sure is. J.K. Rowling would sit at this very desk and look out onto Victoria Street while she wrote the early Harry Potter novels. I'll admit I don't know that much about Harry Potter. I've enjoyed a couple of the movies, but I can certainly appreciate the coolness, the history of this desk. And what author wouldn't find this view inspiring? All right, looks like the rain has stopped. Let's head on back outside. This lush green area that separates the city's Old Town from New Town is known as Princess Street Gardens, but it wasn't always this pleasing to the eye. Back in the 15th and 16th centuries, before Edinburgh had proper sanitation, everything, and I do mean everything, would be washed right down here into what was just one big, gooey, filthy marsh. And back then, this area was called the Norloch. Now, in the 16th century, witchcraft trials became real popular here, and a common way of testing whether suspects were actually witches was by dropping them in a body of water, and if they floated, well, they were guilty. The problem was, here at the Norloch, it was so thick, everyone floated. There's a nice shot of the Scott Monument. Luckily, they did away with all of that, and in the late 18th century, the Norloch was drained, and the two halves of the city became connected, and it all eventually became the Princess Street Gardens. This monument stands in the gardens, and it is dedicated to the Scottish author Sir Walter Scott. The first stone on it was laid in 1840. Now, many folks, and I am certainly among them, enjoy documenting an adventure, an excursion, a vacation with something that they can hold on to for years to come. As you know from watching past episodes, a lot of times that means a new tattoo for me. But I also enjoy the feel, the strength, the longevity, and the meaning behind good leather. And situated prominently at the top of the Scottish leather trade is Mackenzie Leather, a small traditional leather artisan shop that is situated here in the heart of the city's Old Town. With a family-owned history that is decades deep, Mackenzie Leather specializes in custom pieces that can be passed down from generation to generation. Belts, purses, bags, wallets. Each piece created with precision and pride by master craftsmen like Andrew Dunn.
Any of the products you see, we can make for you from scratch. Obviously, the ones on the shelf are for sale, but there is something special about having something made for you. We do like to stay within our designs, so we don't make fully bespoke. We like our designs. We have built our name on, these are built to last. So these are heirlooms in waiting, I like to think.
The leather here is the finest from Italy, Britain, Spain, and the master craftsmen use perfectly executed saddlery techniques, if you can believe that, to bring these classic British designs to life for you. Exactly. So tell us what we're going to create today.
So we're going to be making you a wallet. I've started a little bit of it. Should we go over and have a look at it? Yeah, a little bit. It's a nice one. Now, we've done it in this very light tan, and this is 1mm Italian leather. And I've made these pockets that will take your cards. But what I have to finally do is stitch on the actual front piece.
It's just wonderful and really valuable, I guess is a great word, to see how much care and attention to detail goes into every piece.
Stitch back each one of these stitches all the way back here, so this is secured in, and then I've trimmed the wallet, all the overhang, beved the edge so it's a nice curve rather than a sort of slight chamfer off the edge. And I've stained it and polished it. We're just going to place some initials right here on the wallet, and we'll just show you that. Superb. There we go.
Wow, superb is absolutely right. I love it. Andrew, everyone here at Mackenzie Leather, thank you so much. The fact that I was here for the entire process makes it even more meaningful. I shall cherish it always. All right, what do you say we stroll up the Royal Mile here, find ourselves something to eat? The Royal Mile is actually slightly more than a mile. It dates back to the 12th century. And many will tell you it is the heart of Old Town. Some great architecture, plenty of shops, lots of pubs, and some good street entertainment. And did I mention pubs? Oh, there are plenty of them to choose from here. At last count, more than 385 pubs in the city, including this one, the Wee Pub. They tell me it's the smallest pub in Scotland. So I thought, well, let's take a little peek inside. Isn't that cute? But I'm not ready for a drink just yet. I need to get some food in my belly, and not this kind of food. I'm looking for something a little more authentic, something a little more Scottish, maybe at a pub that, I don't know, is haunted by a street performer, no less. The ghost is that of a young Italian man named Ludovico, who used to do an act right in front here with white mice. As you probably saw there, Fiddler's Arms sits in the shadows of Edinburgh Castle. It's got a good neighborhood feel to it, and they advertise great pub grub. So, yep, it'll be the traditional plate of fish and chips for me, and I think I'll wash it down with a delicious Scottish beer called Innis and Gunn. Can't think of a better way to wrap up this trip. What an incredible visit to this great city this has been, and as always, having you along for the ride makes it even more special. Hey, now would be a great time, while the weather's a little chilly, at least here in Scotland, now would be a great time for you to grab your brand new Tattooed Traveler hoodie or t-shirt. You can get them at thetattooedtraveler.com. And it's also a great opportunity to catch up on some past episodes. They are all waiting for you on our YouTube channel. Until we meet again a little further on down the road, I'm Todd Newton. You travel safely.